Hi everyone. This is the second video in the course called Working with Registrants. In this course, you'll learn how to work with registrants in the Registrant Explorer. So in the second video, we'll start looking at how to add new registrants and then to start working with them to add and modify data on their record. Let's get started. So the first task in this lesson is we want to create a new registrant with the first name Mickey, last name Mouse. So we'll go to the Registrant Explorer. We'll open up the quick links and choose Create Registrant. So go ahead and start filling this out. There's no prefix. Last name is going to be Mouse. Mickey. No middle name, no maiden name. So date of birth will be 09/07/1971. Mickey in this case is male. And the registration type we're going to use is we're going to use an application. We'll say out of province. The effective date will be today. And his address will be 123 Disney Street. And the home city will be Edmonton. Postal code will be T5Z3A2. And his email address will be mickey@mouseland.com. And we go ahead and say OK. Now often when you're adding a new registrant, you'll want to start adding additional information like education, addresses, things like that to them right away. So I find it's good practice to make note of their stakeholder number, in this case 15104, so that you can quickly find them and continue working with them. So the next couple of tasks in this lesson, we need to add Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck. We need to add a couple of more registrants just so that we have some more data to work with. So I'll go ahead and do that. So now let's start working with those registrants a little bit. So first thing we want to do, we're going to return all registrants with the last name Mouse. And we get Mickey and Minnie. So we've got two results. Now let's change Minnie Mouse's name to last name to Duck. So we'll click on Minnie, do a name change. Her last name is going to become Duck. So now let's do that search again. We still get those two same registrants. The reason for that is because Alinity keeps a history of Minnie Duck's last name changes. So if we look at name history, we see that she was Minnie Mouse, now she's become Minnie Duck. Now let's clear our query filter, and I'm going to reload configuration so that we don't have any data here. Now let's say we're searching for Minnie Duck, but we only know that her name was Minnie Mouse. Often what you would try to do is come into the Registrant Explorer and try searching for Minnie Mouse. And you're not going to find any matches. Even if you just search for Mouse, you're not going to find any matches. Sorry, you're not going to find Minnie. If we searched for her first name, then we will find her. But we find her as Minnie Duck. So we want to really return just her. So again, the method that we need to be using to find Minnie in this case is by identification, last names, and we're searching for last name. So in the next task, we want to change somebody's mailing address. So let's remove the query filter. I want to query by Duck. Let's search by Duck. And we'll find Donald. So now that we found Donald, let's click on him as a registrant. Open up quick links and choose home address change. Note that you could also, instead of having to open up the quick links, you could right click on him and choose home address change. So we're going to change him. He's going to move next door to 556 Pond Row. I guess he moves across the street. And we'll change his postal code to T5Z3A3. And OK. Now note, got the effective date field here. What that effective date field does for you is if, for instance, you get contacted by a registrant and they say, I'm going to be moving in 2 weeks, my new address is going to be 556 Pond Row, but it's not going to be effective until October 1st. Then we could say effective date, October 1, and if you happen to send any correspondence out to Donald Duck in the next 2 weeks, it's going to go to his current address, and then any new correspondence that you send in the following weeks will go to his new address. So you can use that effective date to make sure that you're always sending to the correct location. So we'll go ahead and say it's going to be effective today. Say OK. And we've successfully completed that change. So we'll say OK. And now if you look at Donald Duck again, his address is now 556 Pond Row. So in the next task in this lesson, we need to reset a registrant's password. So let's choose Donald. We can do that one of two ways. We can either right-click him, choose Reset Password, or we can click in the quick links for Reset Password. We'll choose that. So as soon as we click it, it goes ahead and changes that password. Say OK, and you can always see what their password is by going to the Registrant tab. Their password is listed here, and you can see it's good and secure. If we were to reset their password again, you'll see it's changed. So in the next task, we need to add a note to Mickey Mouse. So let's find him. We find Mickey. And we want to add a note to him. You see we don't currently have any notes because he's brand new. So we'll right click, choose Add Note. So the note type will be telephone. Title will be Late Renewal Follow-Up. And the text will just be, I'm going to copy this because we're going to add another note to another registrant. So once we click Save, you'll see we now have a note on Mickey. Let's do the same thing for Donald. So now what we want to do is we want to do some queries to show how powerful notes are. So once again, let's go ahead and clear our search results. So I do that by right-clicking Registrant and say Reload Configuration. Query by Notes, and we'll say by note type. Whoops. Note type is telephone. We'll say OK. And you can see I return Donald Duck and Mickey. Clear those again. And now we can go Notes by note type, title, or text, and we can search for anybody who has a note with late renewal in the title. And again, we come back with Donald and Mickey. So in the last task, let's go ahead and do another query by note type. So I can go ahead and search in the note text for, let's say the word test. And you see we get 36 registrants back who have a note with the word test. In this case, this registrant needed to complete some testing. Do that query again. In this case, we'll search for the word late. And there's a bunch of registrants here as well. We have Mickey Mouse. So that's the second and final video in the course, Working with Registrants. We've looked at using search and query combinations to find registrants, then how to add new registrants and work with their data. In the next course, we'll look at how to work with contacts in the Alinity system. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.